right. All right. All right. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, 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 doot. Okay. The thing over there says live. Okay, do I have anybody? Okay, it says I have a person. So, hi, person. Aloha, sibling. Oh, two people now. All right, cool. All right, while I'm waiting for people to arrive and the things to get going, I'm going to switch over to this other scene in the software thing and move this over here so I can actually be looking in this direction. And good old roll. Hey, how's it going, man? How is the audio and all of that? Is everything working properly? Hey, Scotty Roberts, how's it going? And hey, Space Cowboy, how you doing? And John Sickus, is it John Sickus or John? Yeah, glad you could stop by, Space Cowboy. K.E. So where are you at that it's afternoon? West of me, I'm in California, so it's 5 p.m. here. Codebreaker is goated? I don't understand. Well, I'm not playing it right now since I'm looking at the comments. So let me go back to this here. We'll come back to it. I haven't really started doing anything there yet. Anyway, but I just had that set up so in case, when it gets no comments coming in for me to respond to, then I have something to do, right? Because I seem to get, I don't know, dead airspace quite a bit. So does anybody have any interesting holiday plans? I'm having none, really. I'm going to just stay home. Well, I guess that's not no plans. Oh, okay. Thanks, good old roll. I appreciate that. That clearing that up for me. And yeah, that's cool. I like. Well, clearly, I like Codebreaker. I play it all the time. So anyway, as per my Christmas, because everybody was asking about that last night, was what am I going to be doing for Christmas? And I'm just going to be staying home, spending it with family. That's it. Everybody's going to be here. Yeah, there's going to be one absent human, but my niece, one niece doesn't live at home anymore. She lives out and about into the world. So, yeah, but that's what we're going to be doing here, having some food. I think my dad said to my sister, if I remember the other day, that he doesn't want the turkey and ham kind of a thing. He said he's going to get a prime rib. I mean, because she does the cooking, because, she's, after my mom passed, she became sort of she became the matriarch of the family. So all of any cooking for holidays, birthdays, Thanksgivings, Christmas, any of that, she's kind of the queen of anything of that, like that happens. Everybody hit the like button. Thanks, EG. I look at it as this way: all engagement is good engagement. You know what I mean? I tend to, I get the occasional bad comment, but I'm really lucky with you guys, right? Because I don't seem to draw too many bad people or negative people. We had a couple of trolls last night, but I have a really good ratio on thumbs up. Like everything is like high 90%. And like last night, everybody was really kind of on my side when the trolls were there, right? You know what I mean? And that's happened before. People have made trollish comments in my comment section, and even before I get there to respond and tell the person to f off, you guys have already done it for me. You know what I mean? So I feel pretty lucky that way. Which is yeah, cool. That's why I'm here. Getting all kind of sentimental about it. Yeah. So who has what sort of plans? Anybody traveling? Anybody going home or expecting somebody to come home? Try not to slouch so I can keep my back going okay. Jason Reiner, good evening, Bill. Good evening. Like the content. Well, thanks for the Christmas wishes, and I will return them. Merry Christmas to you. I'm glad that you found me. I'm glad you liked the videos, and thanks for coming by. That's the whole thing with this, right? I mean, it's so I can kind of, yeah, it's hanging out with you guys, really. I mean, I know it's kind of one way on the regard that I'm doing the transmitting, I guess, but it's, well, it's generated by you guys, right? So it's kind of hanging out. That's the way I view it. It's like it does when I do these weekends. It's like, for example, last night, I get thrown off by my sleep schedule because, the way I do this. And like last night, because when I'm done, I'm kind of in a good mood. You know what I mean? It's like I went till past 2 in the morning last night, but it took me a while to get calmed down to go to sleep just because I was like in a good mood and kind of in an up space. And it's like, dude, you got to go sleep. But, it's good. It makes it, it's good. Anyway. Okay, hello, Bill. If you're going to have a good Christmas. Don't apologize for being French, man. Your English was fine if that's what you were concerned with. Yeah, and I wish I could respond reasonably with something in French, but Merry Christmas. I mean, I know zero French really. I mean, yeah. Anyway, but welcome to California, yeah, or from California. My welcomes to you, or whatever the right thing to say is. How long have I been growing my beard for? I've had it, I figured it out last night, 15 years. Right, let's see, because I'm 58, means my sister's 55. Yeah, 15 years, because I started growing it when she turned 40. Yeah, I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. Why not? I mean, some of you will probably be bored over with it, but my sister had a birthday party when she turned 40, which, yeah, that's no surprise there. And it was kind of a big party. There was lots of things going on. There was like a room where people were playing console games, and there was a room where people were watching movies, and then otherwise just kind of hanging out with music and drinking and whatever. And anyway, I was hanging out in the room where they were watching a movie, and it was the 300, the Greeks versus the Trojans, right? And the guys all had these very dramatic beards with, and the coloring and everything was all very dramatic and stark. And yeah, anyway, so I made some smart ass comment about how I could grow a better beard than those guys because I, as you can see, I grow a pretty prodigious beard or whatever. So I made the smart ass remark. My sister said, "Well, then grow one." You know what I mean? And then so I decided to grow one, and there you go. This is it. I just haven't shaved since. And am I homeless? No, I'm not homeless. I don't know because I have a long beard. Do you think I'm homeless? Is that the idea? I don't know. Is this troll action, or are you just being ridiculous? So, Joyon, is that how I would say that? Joyeux? Something like that? Joyeux Noel? Joyeux Noel? Is my pronunciation even close? Hey, MC. Geese88. Hi, how's it going? Welcome to the whatever you want to call this. Me just sort of randomly babbling about whatever is, triggered by whatever you guys comment. I'm going to apologize. My throat's a little scruffy from last night, but again, I'm armed with mint tea, so. Okay, well, since it's slowing down, I'm going to switch over to do the code breaker thing for a bit. And clap. Okay, hang on. Before I switch over, let's come back, I guess. Oh, I'm glad you like the videos, Geese88. Or should I just call you Geese? Is that because I'm lazy? Is Geese okay? breaker for a minute. Okay, right on, thanks. All right, let me switch over here for a minute. We'll do a game of code breaker. What's my favorite movie? That came up last night too. I'll answer it the same way I did last night. It's going to be 3 movies, and this is pretty kind of standard. It's been this for a while. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and The House of Flying Daggers. So those 3 movies are kind of the trilogy of movies that currently hold the spot in my heart and mind, whatever, that I think are really amazing. Just because they're visually good, everything good, sensory, and then story, and the whole thing impacts me in a way that I enjoy. So I'm going to think that possibly the red goes here, and that the orange goes here. I'm just guessing at this point because I don't have enough information. Let's introduce the green, and then I check. Looks like there's a comment came up. Talked about this probably as what made you choose Linux as your OS. Excuse me. It's probably come up. I'm pretty sure it's come up at one of the past streams, but it doesn't matter. What made me choose Linux? I'm not sure exactly how to answer that. Okay, so I'll just do a brief my history with computers and kind of that. Okay, so I started working with computers initially on a Exidy Sorcerer. So this is like back in the 70s. And it had like 8K, memory. If that gives you an idea what it was. And so the operating systems were primitive, and you didn't have much to work with. Resources were small. Anyway, and then as things go on, eventually I moved to. I stopped using computers entirely for a while. But my dad was a computer programmer. That's why we were exposed to it around our house. Anyway, then after I did kind of come back to using computers, this would have been in the 80s. I was using a DOS machine. And that was fine. It was all right. And actually, I ended up using MS-DOS because my dad had an extra license, and it was fine. It was all right. It worked, and I didn't do that much. I was taking college courses now and again, and so I think I had a word processor, and I don't remember, maybe a game or something. And then I kind of went on, but most everything I used was in the Windows realm, and then I got to college, and then I was exposed to Unix because that's what they had all these terminals, and they were using the Unix was the backbone of the thing, and that was interesting. Anyway, so then so all my experience had been with Windows and stuff like that, and then I got into programming computers, and then I was exposed to Linux. And professionally programming computers, not just kind of a hobby goofing around kind of thing like from my childhood. And I found Linux to be stable and that's the thing, man. Windows, it's just this is back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And Windows, you'd be working on things from blue screen of death. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I mean. Anyway, so then I kind of went back and forth between Windows and Linux just because of needs and all kinds of weird things. Anyway, eventually, in the last few years during the Windows 10, as it was going along, I just was getting more and more frustrated with Windows and it's the way it functioned and the whole bit of it. And anyway, so I got this system just I don't know, not much more than a year ago. Actually, my dad bought me this computer as a gift. It was sort of supposed to be sort of a cooperative thing because we were going to work on a project together, but it sort of just turned into that I use it, which is fine. It's very generous of him. So I like it. It's no blue screens of death that hasn't crashed. You know what I mean? I've had software, dive, but the system hasn't had any issues at all. Anyway, it looks like there's a couple more comments. So okay, I hope one day your glasses will be straight on your face. Okay, that's a funny thing because I use these glasses. These are just kind of over-the-counter reading glasses, that you can just buy. You don't need a prescription or anything, right? But they're like the perfect distance for me to sit at my computer because my other glasses that are bifocals, the reading part is such that I have to go like that. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. And the other ones I have to sit too far away, right? You know what I mean? It's just So I wear these, but I sat on them, so I can't seem to get them to bend right. So it's like, ah, screw it. I mean, I'm kind of eccentric anyway, so who cares why my glasses look weird? Anyway, so there's the story of my glasses. Dazed and Composed says, oh, hey, Dazed and Composed. How's it going? All right, good. Good to see you back again. That's why, it's kind of my idea behind having the 3 sessions of it over a weekend, It's kind of a lot, but, I think it's worth it for me anyway. I hope it's worth it for you guys. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Anyway, well, glad you could make it. Ghost Riley said, hey, from Georgia. Well, hey, from California to Georgia. What is Georgia's I want to say something about Peach State or something like that. I know peaches are a big deal in Georgia. Like here we're called the Golden State because, the whole gold rush and all that nonsense. But anyway, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. Glad I could help you out there. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Pisc and France has 2 hours. Okay, I can't really make much of that out. Something about France. I don't know, 2 hours something. Continuation and something about an agreeable something. I don't know. I guess maybe I can copy and paste that into the translator or something. Thanks, Explo. I appreciate your kind wishes, and maybe you should get a good night's rest. And thanks for coming by. Yay, good night, sibling. Sinister FPV. I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to call you Sinister because I'm lazy. And yeah, good. Welcome here, man. Welcome here. How many? Here. Let me, because it seems like I'm having comments now. Am I gonna still have comments, or should I go back to playing the game? I'll play the game for a bit. We'll see what happens. I can always go back and forth. Who cares? So is that the red that's right, and the orange still isn't placed? You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna try the red being still correct, and let's move the orange to here. Okay, right on, Sinister. Okay, let's do the blue, I guess. It's odd trying to play a code breaker and keep an eye on the comment section at the same time. Good night. Yeah, cool. So it wasn't the red. Man, I'm thinking that this combination might be wrong. Right, the red-orange bit. And that the black was referring to a green. So I'm going to try something here. This is just me, there's no logical evidence for this yet. This is just me kind of going, let me try a thing. So I'm going to put a green here, which means one of these is not correct, which I'm going to say that the white is going to refer to the red, because that'll just rule this guy out. Depending on what I get here, over there's a score, it's a potential rule out for the red. So that means that the orange is going to be out, so let's put in the yellow, and it means the light blue is going to be in, so let's introduce it. And now let's throw in the dark blue and see what that gets me. Nope. Okay. So what have I done here? This could be that the red goes there. So let's start with that. Okay, it can't be just the red and the green, can it? No, it can't, because if it's the red and the green from here, that means it would have to be the yellow here. So it's not both of these. So I'm going to assume that, again, that it's not the green. Let's switch that over. I mean, not the red. Let me switch it to the green and put it here. And I'm going to say that the orange is in it with the yellow. Nope, that doesn't work either, does it? Wow, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is the red and the orange, and it is the dark blue, purple, and magenta. Let me retry that again. Which would mean, okay, that would make red here. That would make orange there. That would mean this guy's out. That would mean this guy's out. That would mean this guy's in with those two somewhere here. And I'm going to take the green out. I'm going to put the magenta in its place. Let's see what that does for me. What do you know? I shouldn't have gone off on that little branch, right? You know, when I was here, I should have just trusted the method and just gone. Anyways, let's do ring, I guess. Okay. I hope it's not too jarring with because I don't have this in dark mode, because it's hard for me to sometimes read it in dark mode. Oh, wow, Greece. Hey, Teddy. And Joey, hey, how's it going? I'm just sort of, there's been a lull in the comments, so I've just been playing a little, oops, I don't want that. That's what I want. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. That's more like it. There we go. Let's put this guy here. Wow. Lucky placement there. All right, keep moving the light blue around. Keep moving the light blue around. There we go. He goes there. Let's put in the green. Nice. Okay. So now two of these three colors go in these two spots. So let's just start with the yellow. Nope. So yellow's going to go here. And then now either red or orange go in that last spot. That's the first yellow I'm going to get to. Right here. Is it orange or red? Let's just try the orange. What do you know? All right, so it looks like I got another comment here. Da, 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 da. Oh, man. That's rough. I'm sorry you found it frustrating, man. You know, I don't know, would it be useful for anybody if I made another tutorial one? Was that even a useful video for anybody? You know what I mean? Is that just a vanity project on my part? Anyway, let's play again. Oh, you live in Colorado now, Joey? All right, well, you know. So you're originally from the Bay Area. Were you born over here? And if you don't mind my asking, what part? I mean, the Bay Area is pretty large, isn't it? You know, I mean, you go all the way from the Carquinez Straits down to San Jose, and you know what I mean, over to Napa. That's a lot of coverage there. Big chunk of water right there in the middle of it. Oh wow, nice. Okay, so which two? I'm gonna guess red and orange, just because, well, why not? Let's introduce the green. And okay, well, this is gonna have to be this, and it's gonna have to be that the red moves, because the orange has no other place to be, right? It can only be in the one spot, whereas the red has options. Okay. All right, so I was wrong. So red's got to go back to where red's got to go over to here. There's got to be a green in it instead. Now the green's going to have to go here. It's going to have to be a yellow here. It's going to have to be a light blue there, and I have three options over here. Let's see what I get. Wow, lucky. Good guess on the, the three there. Right? I hope that made sense what I was doing there. Palo Alto, right on. Did you move away for school, or did you just want to live in the mountains, or? Sorry to be nosy, but I don't have that many comments going, so you're center stage right now, man. Anyway, so I'll go back to the game here. Let's do another ring. Okay. So magenta is in it. Let's find its place. Wow, all the way around. Interesting. Let's put in, nope, no purple. No dark blue. Wow, all right. Light blue is right there. Okay, so remember these are wrong. All right, so the green is right. So how is this going to work now? This is going to be, the yellow is going to come one of these two, right? All right, so is this orange or red? Let's try the orange. Nope, it's going to go back over here where this first yellow was. And then where the other orange is where the red will go. And there we go, right on. Cool. Oh, you're in California, Amber. Whereabouts in California? And you're going off to Montana. Is this all professionally driven, or you just need to move around, or? Name of, oh yeah, I know who Guthrie Govan is. Yeah. Um, here's the thing, because well, since I'm a guitarist, I fetish his Charvel model. Man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen, yeah, especially there's some videos of him playing on YouTube, because not only is he very talented, just in his, well, he's a very technical player, isn't he? I mean, that's his thing. He's a very technical player, but very, very good at it. But I like to watch his hands. I mean, he has his economy of motion is fantastic. I mean, it has a lot to do with his ability to be as technical as he is. But when you just watch his hands, it's like he moves his hands as a guitarist should move their hands, man. It's like, it's amazing. I love watching his hands. It's like him. Alan Holdsworth is similar. Yeah, there's just something really, really precise and beautiful about the way he moves his hands. Yeah, isn't it though? That Charvel, just anyway. Amber, job opportunity. Oh, wine country. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of wine country around here, don't we? Oh, I never really got to check out the Shure model. Yeah, Shures are. I don't know. I haven't seen. Well, I mean, I see pictures of them and stuff, but I've never actually seen one in the wild. You know what I mean? Like in a store, hanging up anywhere or anything like that. Um, I'll have to look at it. I wonder if it's similar to. Well, I'll wait till I can look at it. But he has really good taste in his choice of woods, and I mean, not just is it nice for feel and all of that, but it's just very beautiful. And I like the idea of a guitar being something that you think is beautiful. You know what I mean? It should be. You want to hold it. You want it to be beautiful. Like in my guitars, I have a relationship with. Excuse me. It might be odd for a 58-year-old man to say, but I have a relationship with my guitars almost as if, or almost like the kind of relationship I had with stuffed toys when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I kind of imbue, like they have a personality or something. Now I know this is all, coming out of me, but yeah. Anyway, I need to have a guitar that like makes me go ooh. And yeah. Anyway, I'm a fan of Jeff Buckley. I'm drawing a blank on Jeff Buckley. I'm not sure I'm familiar with them. So I guess I'm not a fan. But it doesn't mean I'm an anti-fan. It just means I'm drawing a blank on their stuff. Oh wow, you were near Goff and Ellis. I was uh, like one building and up, well, like a business and a building up from Golden Gate into Visadero. I lived on Golden Gate. I mean, literally just like what, 30 yards or something up from to Visadero. Maybe not even that. Well, that's crazy. Yeah. how recent was that? We might have been almost neighbors. You know what I mean? It's crazy. We could have bumped into each other at Alamo Square or something. You know. Hmm. Da. Oh yeah, you're right about yeah, because there's those like here's the thing. I know what you mean about guitars being too pretty, like PRSs. Like there's a lot of PRSs, but you know I know people like to make fun of them for being like you know doctors and lawyers guitars, right? Just rich guys who they just sort of play on the weekends now and again or whatever. Um, uh, wow, Trask, that's crazy generous. Thank you. That is just wildly generous. So everybody's super cool. Trask has been a groovy, generous human for me. Thank you. Um, and what was I talking about? Oh wait, what is guitars? Right, that's what I was talking about. Oh yeah, yeah, two beautiful guitars. Um, yeah, but you're right. I want it to be beautiful, but you're right. It needs to be an instrument, right? It needs to have that. Um, well, like my Rickenbacker, I've showed you guys my Rickenbacker, and you can see it on my music channel. Um, it's been through a bit, you know what I mean? But that's part of its beauty too, isn't it? The fact that it's got that. What do you call that? There's this Japanese thing. Is that wabi sabi or is that I've got the wrong word? There's this concept in Japan where stuff is a little bit shabby, right? It's like it's this beautiful form thing, but it's just a little bit something, and it's there's something to that that's like with guitars, man, right? That's a thing. You want it to be just you want it to be beautiful, but it needs to be an instrument. It needs to have been through it needs to have been played at a dive bar and fallen over a couple of times, right? Anyway, big round pizza shaped apartment building. Oh wow, okay, right, crazy. Okay, man. If you can't stay, you can't stay, man. Get some rest. Whatever. I'm glad you were able to stop by and at least check in. It was good for that, man. Thanks for coming. Um, yeah, Trask, hello again. Man, that is your generosity is astonishing to me. Thank you. Um, so late '90s, early 2000. We probably just missed each other. I don't think when did I move into that apartment? I think it was 2007, something like that. Um, so yeah, we probably just missed each other. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, thank you for the clarification on the term. Yeah, yeah, right. You know what I mean? The whole right. When I used to play in bands, I used to do that silly thing where you take the cigarette, because I used to smoke pretty heavily, and you put it in between the string and the headstock, by the nut, whatever. What is that? Eventually I just took to getting an ashtray and keeping it on my amp, but um, yeah, but you're right. Yeah, there's just something about you know it just stains and nicks and dings, and you're right, cigarette burns, or yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, Dad, how's it going? I have not seen you much this weekend. Well, I've been caught up with this stuff, but I'll probably come upstairs and visit the world after I'm done here. Probably after 6 anyway. I'm gonna. Well, I don't know if people are gonna still comment. I'm gonna switch this back to the other scene thing. Oh, hang on. The old Hendrix incense. Right, exactly. All right, I'll go ahead and hit play again. I'll see if the comments keep coming. Then I'll. All right. Don't let my playing this inhibit anybody from commenting. I don't mind pausing the game and switching over to the other scene to pick back up responding to comments. Zowie, okay. I will leave that to that then. Let's try this and see where this gets me. Oh, see you, Dad. Thanks for coming by. Anyway, just so everybody knows, G. Postman is my dad. All right, so I do know for certain, right? So only one of these and two of these. So I have 3 colors out of all of those 6. That means these 2 have to be in there. So let's just drop them in, and now it's just a matter of which ones of the others. Let's just stick with the green here. Let's move over the light blue just to have some place to start. And I'll put orange, and we'll see how that goes. Nope. Okay, so let's just move these over, or flip them around or whatever. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to say that it's still green. I'm going to say that it's light blue is moved and that it's red and not orange. Oh, no. Okay, let me see. There's a comment over here. Got your car running. Told my boss there was a chance I wasn't going to be in Dodge. Wow, dude, that's good. Well, you know, at least you got a battery, right? You can get things going. That's, you know, something. Okay, so what do I got here? I know these 2 and they're still wrong, so let's just move them. We know orange is in it, so let's put the orange back. I'm going to say it's orange and yellow. Or excuse me, orange and then, so what's the deal here? So it's those 3, which means this, which means it's one of these 2, which means back here it's still one of these 2, so which one? All right, I'm going to say it's the light blue, because that'll work with this empty spot right there. You know, I mean, that's just, I'm just doing that as a fluke more than anything, not really so much of a logic thing. But, you know, maybe I'll get lucky. Pop, 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 pop. But then, okay, so what am I sticking here? If the light blue goes, then the dark blue has to go over there. Right? Is that flying with everybody? I think it does. No, it's still not right. So I have to think about this a bit. Well, you know, that's good. That's the thing, though. It's like if you think about it, oops, I got some stuff on my beard there. That's kind of a cool thing, you know, that she would do that for you, right? You know, I mean, and it's kind of worth it for, you know, her to have that and make that effort on your behalf, isn't it? Right? You know, I mean, it makes for a better relationship, but, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? Humans helping humans, man. I'm a big fan of that. I mean, as long as you guys are on good terms and everything's, you know, you're cool with it, then that's a good thing, isn't it? Well, and since you're grateful, I'm going to assume that it is. So, groovy. I'm glad it could work out for you, man. That's really, really cool. Okay, so now what? Where am I at? I keep, you know, I think I'm not playing the game very well because I'm, you know, trying to keep an eye on the comments. But, well, whatever. It's okay, dude. If you suck, you suck. Who cares? So what is this going to be? Let me switch these 2 around again. I don't know that they have to go there in the middle, but it's just, I'm just kind of playing with anything more, or more than anything right now, I guess. All right, so that's those 2. All right, so what am I not seeing down here? So it's those 4. So I know those 2 are right. Okay, perhaps it was the green after all and not the light blue. Let's try that idea. Let's see, will that fly? If it's the green and the dark blue, but that doesn't work with the orange thing. So I'm not, if it's the green has to go there. Anyway, let me see, we have some. As a math guy, does the theory side of music interest you at all? There's a lot to dive into there. Yeah, you know, I found it fascinating when I first, because I did take 1 semester of theory, but just 1 semester of it. And then I took a jazz theory class, but we didn't really talk about theory so much as she handed out charts and said, "Here, we're going to play now." You know what I mean? So her idea of jazz theory was, you have to play it. Anyway, but it was about, theory and improvisation and all that. But yeah, I found it fascinating. And I kind of work in a music theory idea, but it's kind of my own thing now. I kind of just went, oh, okay, I see kind of what's going on with scales and whatever. And I kind of had my own ideas, and I kind of went off on that. So, but that's me, though. I'm kind of that guy. I kind of have to go fiddle with things in a weird way. I mean, like I wasn't really that kid that took apart the radio and then put it back together again. I was that kid that took apart the radio and then fucked around and did other things with it, so it turned in, maybe not even anything that was useful. You know what I mean? I just sort of was, I don't know. I think I destroyed more things than anything else, but, you have fun doing it. Okay, anyway, I'm losing track of what I'm doing here. Here we go. First time. Nice to see you, Honor. Is it Anor or Honor? Trask says. Right on, Trask. That's really cool. That's a very cool thing. What am I missing here? All right, let's. No, that's got to be those. It can't be. Okay, so I think the green's going to have to go here, and I think it needs to be dark blue. So let me put the magenta over here. Let me put that dark blue there. So I think it's those two, and then the orange. No, the orange can't go there, so let's put the dark blue here, and the orange there. Right, that does that. That does that and that. I think that works. Let's see what that gives me. Hey, what do you know? All right. That was kind of lucky, too. I mean, there's a couple of other options it could have been. Anyway, let's see. We've got, here, I'm going to do this. Let's do this. Move this back over here so I can be kind of looking in the same direction as the camera while I'm looking at this. Here we go. So, Iceland. Right on, man. That's cool. So Iceland, are you 8 hours ahead of me? So you're the same kind of time frame as England, or are you in a different time zone? Am I good at Sudokus? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, I can do them. I mean, I get the rules, and I can usually solve them. I tend to play easy ones, and I'm kind of slow at it because I don't play it all that frequently. My dad's really into Sudoku. And he follows these guys that are, what is their channel called? Cracking the Cryptic, I think. And yeah, they do all these very weird esoteric Sudokus. So I guess if you get to the place with just normal Sudoku is kind of, I can solve those, then you got to make trickier and trickier ones. But yeah, I mean, I can do them, do plain ones. It just, it just takes me a while. I mean, I tend to be pretty good at those kind of logic deductive things, like the code breaker sort of thing, and I like Wordles and Quirtle, and I mean, because there's a certain amount of, mastermind pattern stuff in those too. Although I tend not to be as good at things like Sokoban, the spatial stuff, which is, I think, why I like that game. It's kind of harder for me, but man, anyway. Well, I'm glad you stopped by, Anor. Yeah, cool. In the wee hours of the morning for you. And it's, are you going to have to get up early in the morning to get to work? I hope not. I hope you have plenty of time to get a good night's rest. on the Mandela effect. I don't think, I think it's a psychological phenomenon, is what I think about the Mandela effect. You know, that's my take. Any of my plans for the holidays? I'm going to be staying at home. We're going to just be doing, you know, the family holiday here. You know, a bunch of people, some food, probably a few presents, that kind of thing. It should be quite a crowd. Because I think, let's see, I went over it last night and I can't even remember. So there's, so my sister and Jason, and then those two, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of me. So it's 9 of us here that just live here. And then my other niece and her boyfriend are coming. I think that's it. I think we're going to be 11. It might be different than that. Somebody might be going somewhere else, and somebody might be bringing somebody. Yeah, you know, but yeah, so it's going to be a big crowd, and of course we got our dogs. So I think we have 7 dogs. So 10 or 11, maybe 12 people, something like that, and 7 dogs. Oh no, my niece is going to bring her dogs, so it will be 9 dogs. So it'll be like 10 or 11 people and 9 dogs. Okay, let me get back onto the comments here. Oh, good. Oh, yeah, so good. You can get some rest. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, make sure that you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to get those lectures. You know, you don't want to, don't waste your time there, man. Make sure you get what they're talking about. Yeah. Oh, Taylor, it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Should we ask you how old you are, or are you sensitive about that? You know, some people are, you know, kind of uptight about their age, and some people don't care. And excuse me. What's my favorite holiday dish? You know, it's hard for me to do favorite things, right? You know what I mean? Because my tastes and things are very malleable and sort of capricious. Anyways, let me think about it for a quick sec. Um, well, you know, I'm a carnivore. I mean, well, I'm actually an omnivore as a primate, but I enjoy eating meat. Um, you know, it's just my nature. Um, so I like, you know, any well-cooked meat food thing. Um, I think this year my dad said we're having prime rib instead of the traditional ham or turkey or something like that. What else do I like? Potatoes. I like potatoes a lot. Um, Although I don't usually eat them in my just regular diet. Um, so like scallop potatoes, you know, those ones where you put like the cheese and stuff in it, and you know, you have to think about it. Something will come into my head, and I'll go, "Oh, that's what I really like." But so I'll get back to that, Trask. Anyway, okay. So here, what do I have? Is it Zay Davila? Davila? Wondering if you are still writing music. Yeah, you know, I am still writing music. The problem is, okay, so a lot of that stuff I think is okay, you know what I mean? But a lot of it is like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'll go ahead and put it up, you know what I mean? And so I'm kind of trying to be a little bit more, um, I don't know, choosy about what I put up. And most of the music I have now is kind of just not quite ready for prime time. Um, so yeah, but I am working on music, and there will be music videos. I mean, like when I'm having slow periods now, I mean, because I've been putting out way more videos lately. And then if there's like gaps, you know, like this month I haven't really been doing much. That's because I'm trying to get stuff working on the music thing, and I'm just not having output there either yet. But stuff will be coming. Stuff will be coming, and I'm trying to work out how to work on that stuff, and you know, make lots of ASMR. Because I mean, the only thing that's going to get me off the ground in any way, shape, or form, even musically, is building on the fan base that is you guys. You know what I mean? That's how I can, you know, exist in this YouTube world at the moment, right? So, you know, I appreciate you guys, you know, tremendously. And so just, you know, yeah, show up, hang out, comment, like my videos, all that stuff is beautiful for me. I appreciate it. So thank you. And Wow, 19. You're just a kid, just a youngster. Let's see, 19. Um, yeah, I could be your grandpa. Like if you just multiplied your age times 3, right? That's what, 30, 27? Yeah, 57. So I'm 58, right? Certainly people can have children at 19, right? So I'm old enough to be your grandpa. Anyway, so here we go. Out of curiosity, I've heard that you talk about similar sorts of topics. Have you, Timothy Leary? Oh wow, that's kind of cool. I'm not really directly familiar with his work. Like I've never read any of his stuff or anything like that. I have seen clips of lectures or segments of lectures and stuff. I don't think I've seen a lecture in its entirety. But I'm kind of aware of his, tune in, turn on, drop out thing, and I've, just for keeping things low for the YouTube algorithm. I don't want to promote such things. My experience is my experience. But I have done my fair amount of psychonaut stuff. Um, I'd like to do it again. I just need to work with a psychiatrist or something at some point in the future when I'm more confident about it, and make sure I can find something that will work with the lamotrigine, or find a different, drug for my mood disorder. So, yeah. But yeah. So there you go. I hope that answers your question about. But that's kind of. So, did you ever have any interaction with Leary directly, or were you too young, or? Because if you're in school now, that makes me think that you're kind of a youngster. But although you could be a grad student and be my age. I don't know. Wow, can you guys hear that? The dogs are being rowdy upstairs. I can hear their little claws going on the wood floor upstairs. Yeah, it's a weird thing. There's a couple of, like, a lot of noises don't make it through downstairs because this house is kind of it was built. When was it built? It's not really all that old. I think it's only built like in the 40s. But when they did it, it's kind of overbuilt. Like it's button board, but it's like it's crazy overbuilt. Like the places that it has like things that are bigger than what are called for as far as beams and joists and more often and that kind of thing. It's kind of weird. But the button board is it's essentially a plaster thing, so it's pretty good at being dense and sort of being a barrier for sound. Anyway, there's my babblings on that nonsense, but I don't know. Oh, you thought the dogs were raindrops? Well, it was raining earlier. Although you wouldn't hear that from upstairs. That would be over there on the window. This is where that would come from. But yeah. Ah, so you're a grad student. What is your? Did we talked about this already, Trask? What's your? What are you a grad student in? I feel like maybe you've told me that and I've just forgotten. And if I have, I apologize. My brain just, what's that? There's a Thomas Dolby song off of Aliens Ate My Buick. My brain is like a sieve, which, sometimes it is. I don't know. It's like my brain will cling on to some weird things, without me even making any effort at all. And sometimes it's just like, it just doesn't want to keep things in it. I don't know if that's an age thing or just, peculiar to my neurological function, or who knows, man. Just have a bit more tea, I think. Man, I keep getting blown away by the time delay thing. You know, it trips me out so much. Just to give you guys an idea, I did this last night too. Okay, so I'm going to wave my hand, right? So I'm waving my hand, and I'm looking over there, and I'm going to wait for it to catch up over there on the YouTube. What YouTube is showing me is like what more or less what you guys are seeing, I think. Or there it is now. Now it's just I'm waving now over there. So that's the delay. It's very weird. Sometimes it makes me think like when the chat is happening, I'm like, I'm not sure I'm understanding what people are saying or things, you know. Anyway, whatever. We'll work it out. It's all fine. Yeah, wow, that's really cool. That's a very cool thing that your parents were interacted with those guys. I've not read McKenna either, but I've listened to a lot of his lectures. There's a bunch of them here on YouTube. He has some interesting ideas. I think his the stoned ape thing is kind of interesting. I don't know that I fully think that it explains phenomenon, but I think it's an interesting thing to consider. Um, and some of his other ideas, just in terms of, you know, what is consciousness and how do we solve what that is in our experience of it. He had some interesting ideas on that, and a lot of those things are kind of more or less unanswerable right now. So um, who knows what the world holds as far as, you know, what consciousness will unfold to be. Oh wow, okay. So 3 years sober, right on. I did, well, I had issues with alcohol. I'm an alcoholic. I was a blackout drunk for a long time. Um, and it was months before I started this channel is when I gave up the booze. Um, and in part, I guess is part of the reason why the channel exists because, you know, after I gave up the booze, I had more time to do other things. And that's part of the reality, isn't it? I mean, uh, you know, when people give up um, substances that you know, have issues with. And I actually did. I went through a program. It was through my Kaiser. That was my medical insurance for my job. And so I went through what was called the Chemical Dependency Recovery Program, the CDRP. It was a month-long outpatient thing, so I didn't have to stay there overnight. It was walking distance from my house in San Francisco, so that was immensely convenient. Um, but yeah, so I interacted with a lot of counselors, right? It was, I mean, part of it was essentially like group therapy. Part of it was about education, about, you know, how the chemicals work and all of that. And it was pretty comprehensive. Part of it was, yeah, I mean, that was it basically, just, you know, trying to learn about things and then, and to learn how to not, you know, how to just, you know, work your thing, right? I don't go to meetings or anything. I found meetings make me want to drink. But I figured out my own thing, man, right? I have a really good family. And I kind of got back into my meditation practice. So that's my program is that, my own personal brand of religion and my family, you know? So that's but yeah, that's a good thing, man. You should be passionate about it. You know, I believe all of that stuff, you know, everything, you know, from gambling to overeating to chemical dependencies to all of these things are things that humans need help with. We shouldn't be beating people up about it, making them feel bad, you know? You know, if somebody's got weight issues or body image issues, or I don't care what it is, man, or chemical dependency issues, or, you know, depression, or, you know, who cares, man? If humans need help, we should give humans help, right? You know, that's my take. Anyway, thanks, Trask. Yeah, thank you. Okay, wait a minute. Did I usually hear it being portrayed as the center of the world? Huh? Yeah, California does get that way, right? Well, here's the deal, right? We have Hollywood, right? That's what it is. We have Hollywood, and Hollywood is the thing, isn't it? I mean, when it comes to projecting culture, Hollywood is the big gorilla on the planet. I mean, if you think about it, it's comparable to our military, right? The United States military. It's like, okay, so the United States military after World War II, there was this theory of it had to be able to dominate two theaters, right? That's two theaters of operation in a military scale. That's essentially basically fighting two wars, right? That was our thing, right? So we have that military. We have the most dominant military on the planet. That's just a fact of the world. Okay, why do I bring all that up? Because it's this ominous thing. Because Hollywood is that, right? Hollywood projects itself into the world, you know. Anyway, so yeah, California does create this culture of, oh, it's us, you know. Like we tend to think of our accent as being not an accent, you know. I think a lot of people do that, but California tends to project that. And it's kind of crappy in a lot of ways. But it's a beautiful place, and a lot of the people are nice. I mean, if you can get past, you know, some of the crap that's, you know, on top of the you know, the Chamber of Commerce frosting nonsense, you know, if you can get past that stuff. California is a beautiful place. And yes, I have lived here pretty much my whole life. I've done a tiny amount of traveling. I've spent a little bit of time measured in months, so not like years or anything like that, in Utrecht in the Netherlands. And I have a friend in the UK that when I've been over in Europe, like I didn't really travel much around Europe when I was there. I went to go spend the time with my friend in the UK because he's a dear friend. So I made the trade-off. It's less important for me to be a tourist, more important for me to spend time with my friend. And he also helped me out in a rough time when I was over there too. I've talked about that elsewhere, so I'm not going to go into it tonight. But anyway, yeah, so where was that? That was it. You were asking me about where. Sorry. Sometimes I do that. I just go. Anyway, learning how to cope without substances. Thank you for sharing, Bill. Yeah, you're welcome, Trask. Yeah, it is not one size fits all. Everybody, I believe everybody has their own, and they have to find it. Now, there's a lot of people whose programs have a lot in common with somebody else's, which is why I think some of, you know, like AA, and for a little while I did use LifeRing, but I mean, those things can work, right? You know, and I encourage people, look, if you think you have an issue, you probably do. You know, I mean, if it's in the back of your mind, you're going, maybe I'm drinking too much, then yeah, you should probably sit and actually think about it. You probably do, you know. That's been my experience as an observer, you know, having spent so much time drinking so much, and I see other people, it's like, oh man. But I try not to project. It's not my place to run somebody else's life, you know, but I can, you know, point you in a direction. I can, you know, offer, you know, a kind word or whatever, but and encouragement and all of that. But yeah, everybody needs to find their own program for whatever their issue is. But I believe it exists, and I believe humans can help humans. I mean, I know I've said it before, and I'll beat it into the ground, but you know, I have this phrase for myself at the W.C. Postman channel, which I don't really put much effort into. I mean, I was excited about it when I first started it. Now I'm kind of, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm the atheist anarchist advocating agape, right? So you got the atheist anarchist advocating agape. You know, the alliteration of it is nice. Yeah, but that's basically it. You know, I'm an anarchist. I think we should dismantle oppressive power structures. I'm an atheist. Not that I'm an anti-theist, right? My belief in what the world is my own personal thing, and I'm not interested in making anybody else believe my thing. I just don't believe in God because I don't need it to model the universe, and that's kind of the way my brain works. You know, so that's that. But here's the thing. I was first introduced to the notion of agape out of taking a world religion course and out of Christianity, of course, and we talked specifically about some of the stuff going into Eastern Orthodox and that kind of thing. And then, of course, there's the overlap with that, and although they wouldn't use the word agape in it, but it's essentially the same thing as the notion of compassion out of the, you know, from the message of the Buddha. So, like, there's a lot of the message of the Buddha and the message of the Christ that are essentially the same, right? It's love, right? You know, that's a common thing. There's a lot of religions that will say, hey, it's about love, and it is. Look at Rumi, you know, it's about love, man. And when I mean love, I don't necessarily, I mean, it can include romantic love and sexual love and fraternal love and, you know, all these things. That's all fine. And the Greeks are great with a lot of words for it, right? I mean, that's the whole thing of agape, right? Because we, you know, take that word out of the Greek. But the idea that it's unconditional compassion in a profound way for your fellow human. That you give them the love and care that they need just for being a human. It is hard, you know, but it's what we should be doing, you know. As you know, that's why I, you know, dismantle capitalism. You know, we shouldn't be. That's not what we should be doing, you know. Anyway, there you go. There's my ultra left wing sort of thing, man. You know, it's like I get really annoyed when I hear people like certain right-wing politicians here in the United States that go on about, you know, the left, you know, in this weird denigrating manner, and I take offense at it. I mean, I'm never going to go talk to certain members of the House, but it's like, what are you talking about, man? You have never spoken to me. You have no idea what we're about. How can a person who's saying, let's dismantle oppressive power structures so that everybody gets a fair shake and everything should be based on love? That's how we should, come up with how we do our policies and everything, man. You know, if you, why would you be afraid of that? Anyway, there's my, political, religious ramble for the day. I'm sorry if it bummed anybody out or whatever. Anyway, let me get back to the comments. It's a strange phenomenon. The opiate crisis is just not seeping into Europe. Oh man, that's too bad, because it's been a bad thing here. We've had a lot of problems with that, and it's part of the thing about it is those synthetic things is the thing, man. They're so much more effective in every aspect of it, right? I mean, I don't think they've quite got it to be as addictive as the nicotine thing, as far as that it provokes your body to make its own receptors, right? Nicotine does this insidious thing like that. That's really, really bad. But yeah, God, man, it frustrates me. I mean, I'm fine with people doing drugs, but if you start having trouble, man, then you need to be, you need to be pulled back. You need some help, right? Anyway, let me get back into work to 12. Right, yeah, I know what you mean, Trask. That's the thing. I mean, I did that for myself. It took doctors telling me, because I had an issue medically, and it took some doctors coming into a room after, I ended up going into an urgent care thing with a headache, and when I was presenting, however it was I was describing the thing, there was certain buzzwords that got said, and they went, "Oh, you might be having a stroke." It turns out I wasn't. Turns out that there was no permanent damage, there were no lesions, there was no whatever. There was a tremendous amount of inflammation and a whole mess of other things. Anyway, the doctor said, "Dude, you have to stop drinking. You're killing yourself." And so I decided to follow what the doctor said. So there you go. That's basically the nutshell of my story. Um, you know, I don't really want to turn this channel into about my alcoholism or whatever, but I think there's value in my being open about it, and also about my mental health issues and all of that. This stuff shouldn't be stigmatized. Humans should help humans. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, the low point thing, that's usually what it takes, right? It takes, something to happen, something that there needs to be an event, I think, that you just can't ignore, right? There needs to be something, whether it's a context, a situation, or a specific, a single acute event. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad that you've been able to turn yourself around, and I'm glad that you're on the path that you're on, man. That's a good thing, you know. Humans helping humans, right? You get it. Oh yeah, like I'm unfamiliar with that quote, but from Elizabeth Gilbert. But yeah, that's the thing, right? You have to stop lying to yourself, right? I mean, that's at the core of a lot of things, though, isn't it? Not just substance abuse. You know, it's a difficult thing, I think, for all of us to wrestle with, but you know, I think it's worth wrestling with. What time is it getting to be? My back is getting a little. Oh, it's only 6. That's okay. However, I'm going to take a pause for a minute. I need to go use the bathroom. So what I'm going to do, I created this thing that has a little graphic. Well, you'll see it in a second, and then I'm going to mute the mic, because you don't need to, hear the. You can hear the bathroom in this room. The sound in that regard is bad, and I don't want you guys to have to listen to me in the bathroom. So there you go. Oops. that. Okay, I am back. All right, see what has happened since I've been. Okay, so what is my favorite color? I don't know. When I was a kid, it was purple. I like I like novelty in color, if that makes sense. What do I mean by that? Um, I like when I see a color in such a way that it surprises me. You know what I mean? Like if I see, some bright flowers in, like in somebody's garden, and it's, oh wow, look at those, right? You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be a specific color. I just like colors to be like bright, and like that kind of high saturated thing. But I like it in person. I'm less excited by. I mean, it's impressive when somebody can do that digitally on a screen and all that. But it's like, yeah, but that's technology and that's cool, whatever. But I like seeing, flowers and birds and things like that. When it comes to popping of color. Um, when it comes to things that humans make, I'm more interested in. I mean, color choice is good, and that can be very cool. And of course, bright colors can be impactful in the composition. But that's the thing. I'm way more interested in what the composition is and what is that. What does my head do? Whatever the hell that's about. But that's maybe me just being overly arty or whatever the hell. Anyway, yeah. Over there. Hey, good evening to you too. Where is over there? I'm going to go back to doing the other thing for a second, just since the comments have slowed down a bit. Let's go back over to here. Let's go to there. Let's go to here. There we go. Yippee-yay. And we'll do this. Oops, comments are coming back. Let's see. Over there is over here, quite simply. All right, there you go, right on. What sort of jobs have I worked throughout the years? Wow, a lot of different jobs. Hi, Tyler. Hello from California. Okay, I've done a lot of jobs. So I worked at a convenience store. That was my first job that wasn't like, mowing lawns and babysitting and that kind of thing. And then I worked a driving job for a business card printing company, which was a weird thing. I worked a driving job for the LA Times. It was basically just being a paper boy, to be honest. Although I did a bunch of other things for them too, but that was part of it. What else did I do? I did labor and construction for a while. Mostly it was just being, a grunt. And then I ended up working with these guys that did plumb and line, which is to keep buildings, essentially square and, everything, at right angles properly and all of that. I worked on an electronics assembly line, first as a person just soldering stuff, and then as a QC guy at the end of the line. I worked for a pharmaceutical company and making diagnostic test strips. I've worked for an artist in his production studio. We built tremendously large wood panels and big rectangular wood panels, and maybe I shouldn't say tremendously large, but big, if you're familiar with Francis Bacon, like that size of stuff, panels. But he also had ones that weren't rectilinear, had weird big shapes that were, big things, like 10 feet by something, you know what I mean? And a lot of them were these weird shapes of guys that were self-filleting, which is, he did it in this weird way that, like, when you first looked at it, you didn't know what was going on, but it was strange. But I worked for him. I've worked for educational institutions, like as a tutor, as an instructional aide, as a test proctor in bureaucracy. I worked for a government agency in intake at a juvenile hall to do gathering information about drugs and sex and all that kind of thing, and abuse and all that. I only worked that for, and it was measured in months. It broke my heart. I mean, I know I've told this before, but it gives you the idea. One of the days I was working, because usually it's just kids being brought in for stupid petty crap. You know what I mean? That's almost all it was ever, except for this one time. This lady brought her son in and just left him. I can't handle him anymore. He's a piece of shit. Blah, blah, blah. You guys take him. And just walked off and left her kid at juvenile hall, like jail basically for kids. And, and that kind of stuff. It's just, there was a lot of other instances, but that's the one that's the easiest to talk about as far as in a public manner. I had to go watch these kids piss into a sample cup. You know what I mean? It was just, a weird. It was it was actually working for a non-governmental agency that was involved. It was just a weird thing. But I mean, I understand what was going on, and I think it was valuable information to be gathering. But I'm just not the person to do that job. It just broke my heart seeing all these kids in these really bad situations. Oh, and there's the thing. I didn't ever have to, do any of the private nonsense with the girls. They had female guards for that. But I did do the interviews with the girls. Anyway, yes, I've done a lot of weird jobs, man. I've done a lot of weird jobs. Maybe not weird, but a broad array of stuff. Everything from having to be clever to having to try to use my body with some effectiveness. I don't know. Hopefully that helped answer the question. Holy mackerel. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so what do we got here? We have magenta is in it, but just not. Oh, okay. Get you some. Okay, I will get me some. Hi. All right, let's find magenta's place, shall we? There we go. Let's throw in the purple. Oh, wow, lucky. Dark blue, let's find its place. Not yet. There we go. Okay, light blue. Nope. Keep these. Light blue, try that. Yep, okay, so green maybe? Nope. Yellow maybe? Yeah, but it's going to go around to where the green is. And yellow. All right, now it's going to be either red or orange here. Let's go ahead and throw in the orange. Nope. Come back around and drop in the red, and that'll be the end of it. Boink. And there we go. Okay, it seems like I've got some more comments here. Curdle, hey, how's it going? Well, I'm sorry to hear about the insomnia, man, but welcome back. Hang out with us, maybe chill out, get relaxed. I don't know. Hopefully it'll work. Get some positive influence into your life in some manner. And let me get some more tea. Okay. This napkin's falling apart. Where's this one? Here we go. This will be better. Okay. Yeah, let's play a little bit more. Let's play again. I want to go back to ring. Actually, you know what? Let's do something different. Let me go play octortal. Now let's do exortal. Oh, yikes, that flash. I hope that didn't whack anybody out too badly. Okay, I'm going to go over here. Let me do a thing here. I think I can do this. I think that works live. There we go. Did that work for everybody? Can you guys see the thing now? I hope. Is that okay? Yeah, breathing. That's a good piece of advice over there. There you go, Curdle. Try that. I mean, I don't know if you have already, but yeah, thanks for, there you go, yeah. Have I ever thought about doing story-esque videos? Yeah, I'm gonna do. I did do a reading thing, and I will do more of those. Um, I was doing this Joyce thing, and I intend to do all of the short stories out of Dubliners. I'm just kind of hung up right now, and the one it's the second one, and for whatever reason, I just can't do a good reading of it. So I think I'm going to just set that aside for a minute, and find something that'll be easier and funner. But yeah, I want to do some stuff. I think I have different ideas. I think what I'm going to do is focus on stuff that I can get from Project Gutenberg, because they do all sorts of stuff that's it's all public domain. Um, so here, let me put this back on this thing. Um, they do public domain stuff, which is there's a gazillion things out in the world that are public domain. So I think that's what I'm going to lean into doing that. And some of the stuff has images with it. Um, and so I think what I'll do is I'll make sort of like slideshow things that go along with my reading, based on the images that would be in the original text, right? That would be kind of a cool thing. And then where that's either not available or I don't like the images, I'm going to come up with a way of like me being able to read it or something. Like I have one of these little screwy tablet things. It's not very fancy, but I think I can port things over to it like in text file form. You know what I mean? And then I can read off of that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to memorize stuff and then pretend to read. That's going to be too difficult. And I'm not going to go find hard copies of things. But I think it would be kind of cool to like be physically reading a thing in such a way that I'm not doing it off a screen. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'll be able to figure that out. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be doing some reading story type things. And if I can, I do have that one story everybody really likes about the train ride thing. See, I can't be prolific in that stuff. That kind of stuff is stuff that comes rarely to my head. But I'm going to try and figure out how to get more of that kind of thing out, I think. I don't know, but yeah. I tend to be pretty hard on those things. You know what I mean? Like I'll get ideas that kind of go that direction, but if it's not to that level, then I'm not going to pursue it. You know what I mean? I get pretty persnickety about that kind of thing. When I'm getting arty, I get very kind of, I think I sometimes take stuff way too seriously. It's not like I'm in high art, fine art. You know what I mean? Like my friend Steve, he teaches art at a university. He's in a different world. Anyway, let's go back to these comments here. Was I in the Navy? No, I've never served in any capacity in the military. No, my grandfather did. He was a submariner in World War II. Yeah, and then my dad's dad was, he served in World War II as well, but he just served during World War II. When he got back, he was done. I think he was in the Army. But my grandfather, after World War II, he stayed on and did a full career. Did 20 years, and yeah. Anyway. Oh, okay, dude. She doesn't watch my channel, does she? Because you know what I mean, man. So I'm assuming you've already thought about that. Man, I'm excited for you. Well, that's kind of cool. Do I paint? Not really. I occasionally dabble in that kind of visual art stuff. I mostly work visually in technological stuff. You know what I mean, like video, whatever. I'm not very good at it. I'm mostly a musician and composer. I'm not sure which one I should put first in that regard. But I kind of like the idea. I mean, ever since, I was a teenager when MTV came out, and originally MTV was about music videos. I mean, back in the day, that's what it was. It was, except for a couple of weird little news break things and stuff like that, it was music videos 24/7, man. It was crazy. And I really liked that. The whole idea of visuals going along with music. It was like, and to me, it seemed like an obvious extension of the LP cover. You know what I mean? I think CDs and digital sound is actually fine technological advancement, but man, I miss that the album cover thing. I really, really do. Anyway, I hope things go well for your thing there. And no, I don't paint, not really. And okay, here we go. Oh man, dude, that's risky. Just make sure she can't read over your shoulder, you know? Yeah, so I hope everything goes the way you're hoping for, man. I mean, when I got married, my marriage didn't work, and that's sad. But man, when I did, because my proposal was kind of like she knew it was coming. You know what I mean? But still, it is what it is. Man, I was excited. I was so. I mean, I thought we were getting married forever. You know what I mean? So when it's like, that's very, very exciting, though, man. I hope you actually succeed and get all of the good things, man. I'm glad you liked the book show and tell, Anar. And okay, wait. Scott Leahy, hello from Nova Scotia. Hey, hello back to you from California to Nova Scotia. I used to kind of have a correspondence with a human. Well, correspondence. It was more than just correspondence. We spoke and telephone and video chat and that kind of thing. She lived in Nova Scotia. Yeah, we don't really talk anymore, but whatever. People come in and out of people's lives. Okay, there you go. Oh, okay, so she's asleep. Good for you, man. All right, yeah. Again, man, I hope it's, yeah. So there you go. Everybody, give Curdle the thumbs up and the good wishes and all of that. I mean, I'm not really terribly superstitious, so I don't know if any of that stuff really has any effect on the world. You know what I mean? I'm skeptical about that. But it can't hurt, right? And it just makes for camaraderie and, community. From Torrance, all right. Down a little bit south of me, then. All right, I wonder, should I go back to, I was going to start playing a little bit of Exordal. I'm going to go do that and just see, I can always come back. This is easy enough to just switch back and forth pretty freaking easily. Let's go over here. Oh, okay, here we go. Over there it says, when I proposed my girlfriend, we were just sitting on the couch. All right, over there. Nice little story. Cool. All right, what do we have here? So I'm going to play the normal thing for me. I usually play the same words. Oh, come on, keyboard. Don't be doing this to me. Come on. Is it going to do the thing? There we go. Oh, this wireless keyboard, and it acts up on me sometimes. Okay, what do we have here? Nice. All right, dude. Yeah, good luck. What do I got here? I have 8 of the letters. Let's try plum. And waged. And okay. What do I have? I have the A, the E, and the O. Those are all vowels. The A and the O are placed. The E is not. Orbit, that might not be a clue. Sometimes the word up here is a clue to the other 2 words. Oh, there's a thing. I guess some of you might not know this game because I haven't played it as much as Codebreaker, and I don't really play it much on the gameplay things. But okay, so it's like Wordle or Exordal or Quordle or it is Exordal. What am I saying? It's like Quordle or Octordle or any of those, except for you're playing 2 words, but they're on the same grid at the same time. So it makes for some interesting. Okay, what do we got here? What do I got here? Something. first one to tie the knot, eh? Are you planning a big wedding, Kerbal? Or is it going to be just a small thing, or big reception band or a DJ, or, if you don't mind my being nosy. Let's see, what am I doing here? So is one of those VXEQ in there, or have I got to double something? I'm not seeing anything. Nothing is coming out to me. Where is this going to go? All right, anyway. Okay, small, tiny, intimate. That's okay. That's cool. So just a small ceremony, any kind of a little reception party gathering afterwards, or just the reception and bing bang boom and. Man, I am not seeing anything in here. Yeah, 18 is pretty young, man. I will tell you that. I got married, I was 20. It was just a few months before I turned 21. And my parents got married very young as well. Their marriage was successful. Mine was not. But they got married younger. Well, they got married because of me. My dad knocked my mom up. They were high school sweethearts, and she had just graduated. He was still a senior in high school, and she got pregnant, so they were planning to get married anyway. I just sort of sped things along, as it were. Yeah. All right, man. I hope you have a really good time with that. That's fantastic. Okay, how do I... Nope, that's not going to work. I'm just completely drawing a blank. I'm wondering, is it going to be like an SH or a TH at the end? I don't know. Okay. First of your siblings and the youngest. So are you actually the youngest of all the siblings, or the youngest one to get married? Oh, wait, that would make sense. Yeah, because if you're the first one to get married and you're the youngest, then you're the youngest, right? Sorry about that. Doink. My brain is slow sometimes. Oh, yeah. All right, I don't know if this is going to be it, but it gives me an opportunity to put something in, and I mean, the W's not in there, but I'm going to waste it anyway, just because I want to do that. No, that didn't do anything, but it moved that over there. What does that give me? I got 2 left. So, Oh, I think the orbit is a clue. I think the orbit is a clue, and I think one of the words is Earth. And the other one is moons. Bingo. Ha ha. Holy mackerel. Or was that the daily one? Oh, wow, I just did the daily one. That's why it's always a, I guess I didn't do today's game things. Interesting. All right, so that's today's. I thought I was playing the unlimited one. I just wasn't paying attention to what I clicked on. Well, there you go. So, yeah. Let's do this here now. Hey, sorry about that flash. Man, that's just crazy. So let's do a new one. And, right, so when you do the unlimited, you can play the hard mode, which is what I like. Because it doesn't give you the word, your extra bonus word at the beginning yet. It gives you a letter at a time. Excuse me, I'm going to clear my throat again. All right, so here we go. We'll do the cushy joint freak, cushy joint. And wow, that got me nothing. Plum waged. All right, that gives me 9. That gives me someplace to start. Okay, I have A, E, and O. A is placed, E and O are not. Y, but not EY. What do I have? I was thinking maybe I could do something with PH something, but I don't see that working out. Nope, okay. Does WA actually do anything for me? I don't know. Well, so we're not ending in the typical kind of thing with the H. So where it's been, maybe it can't be first. It could be WH. I didn't think about that. WH, what? WH, O, whole? Okay. And P-A, that's going to be Patty, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see. We've got some comments to go. Wow, okay. Wow, dude, you are young. Crazy. Well, I hope, yeah, man. July. Well, since you haven't proposed yet, then, you should be able to have some influence on the, when it happens. You know what I mean? So, well, I hope everything works out, man. I'll try another one of these, I guess. Just for warning for everybody, I don't know that I will be doing much more than, I'll probably go till about 7, and then that'll be, enough for me and, my poor back and all of that. Anyways, let's try another word, or set of words, shall we? Wow, I didn't do too much. That gives me 8, so let's see what we have. I have E-N-O-G. And the vowels are E, O, and I. Oh, wow. Okay. I was just using it to move the S and the E around, but good for me. I'll take luck. Okay, what do we have here? $3 years. Wow. Okay. Yeah, let's see. That's I met my ex-wife when I was 17. We were married, like I said, when I was 20. Um, so yeah, that's 3 years roughly, right? And actually, yeah, it's almost right because we met. Actually, we got married in May, but I think we met in the April when I was 17. I might be wrong, but I think that's what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what it was for me. 3 years, yeah. Okay, what is this now? I sense I have what? I have G-O. Oh, logic? Is that what that is? L-O-G-I-C. Yeah, okay. Let's see how this is going here. Fair enough, Curdle. Wow, okay, so how do we have? We have 20 people now. Crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. All right, anyway, that's cool. 20 people. Oops, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. There we go. Da, 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 da. Let's go over here. Let's do this again. Doink. Man. I wish they didn't have that flash pop up. I hope that's not too horrible for you guys. And oops, I forgot to get back over to here. All right. And let's try that. Okay. I'm going to try run. Nope. So, man, I thought for sure that was it, but okay, so what do I have? I have GA and the S are not in their spot. So, DR. Nope. Let's try GRAND. Nope, okay, but at least it moves things around, so I got, all right. The good thing is on this game, if you get one of the words on the last try, they'll give you a bonus guess to get the second word. So I might still be able to, pull this out. So not grand. Reclaimer Rob says that you will never. All right, that's fine. Yeah, if that's not your scene, man, then that's cool, right? The world is a big, diverse place. There will be as many ways of doing stuff as there are people to do it. Wait, so the S is the only thing not in place, so can't be there, can't be there, can't be there. So it has to be either the very end or the second from the end. So W-O what? Wound, maybe? W-O-U-N-D. And then I have what? G-R-A-S-S? Okay, yeah, see, those ones don't really have anything to do with each other, so it's not always a clear thing with the top, is it? Yeah, strange. Anyway, let's see what the comments had to. Right on, McClaver Rob. Wrestling shows, right on. Hey, Ben, how you doing? I'm wondering, should I do something else? Should I go back to Codebreaker maybe? Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this one. This is reasonably new. I've only been doing it for like about a month or so. Um, Somebody in the last stream last month is who turned me on to it. I'm going to grow this a little bit. That's good enough. Anyway, what I'll do here. Reggie, you could play with your viewers. You could play. What is Gardic phone? I don't know what that is. Anyway, so this one is you're just trying to get the whole square to be one color, and you start up here, and it's well here I'll show you. Like I'll pick pink, and then right, so that's all pink, right? So now I'll pick this color, it's kind of pale green, right? See how that goes, and you just try to strategically. I have 28 sort of choices to kind of get it to go before it runs out. All right, cool. I have a sister, but Rob, but I too am pretty. I've always been kind of a. Well, I'm the oldest, so I was the firstborn. My sister's only 3 years younger than me, so it's not a gigantic gap. Um, and we were really close as kids. We're still pretty close, but we were really close as kids. I mean, it was anyway. Um, yeah, yeah, but I still like being on my own a lot. Even now to this day, I spend most of my time on my own. It's like a good version of Scribble. I don't know what Scribble is. Is that something related to Scrabble, or is it about scribbling, like drawing? Hmm. Well, let me fiddle with this thing here, and then maybe we'll go do some surfing and see if I can find it. Anyways, I guess let's do red and then pink, and then we'll do purple. What? Green, I guess. Pale green, orange. I guess the pink, the green, and then the purple. Red, then green, I guess. Do the pale color. Purple. Do pink. Do orange. Do green. Do red. And there we go. Okay, here we go. You draw something, and then the next person has to guess what it means, and with that phrase, the person guesses, someone makes a new drawing, and so on. Well, thank you very, very much, Astrovolk. I am glad that you like my stuff, and welcome from California to you in Morocco. Um, you know, have you been to a stream before? Because I think somebody was here from Morocco in the past. Maybe I'm wrong. Have I usually gravitated towards jobs that have you independent as well? I've worked for 20 years now and have 7 or 8 years that have been very solitary type of work, often in public though. We talked a little bit about my job history a little while ago. I've had a very weird, diverse job history. Maybe not weird isn't the right word, but just diverse. Um, yeah, I don't know. Looking back on it, I think a lot of it's given the fact that now that I'm, been diagnosed with a mood disorder, and I'm on meds now, I look back at a lot of my past and go, wow. um, but no, yeah, I don't have any particular type of job that I gravitate to. You know, yeah, I've worked as a tutor. I've worked on my own. You know, like when I do programming, of course, I did it on my own. But of course, then you have to, you know, sync everything up to a project. You're working with the project manager and that kind, you know, whatever. Yeah, there's different degrees of working with people and on my own. Yeah, I'm fine either way. I mean, as long as I understand what's going on in the system of that I'm engaged in, right, with people, and as long as everybody there is kind of doing what they're supposed to be doing, we all understand it, I'm fine. Um, I hate job politics stuff, you know what I mean, office politics and that kind of crap. It's like, oh wow, let's see, how am I going to say this? Astrovelk. Is that close to being how you would like it said? Yeah, stillness. That was quite a while ago, wasn't it? You know, that's another one of those videos I'm pretty pleased with. You know, there's some of them I look back and I just go, oh, it was fun to make and whatever. It's ASMR, right? I mean, ASMR isn't, um, well, I was going to denigrate it, but I don't think that's fair. Um, ASMR isn't necessarily, and that doesn't have to be arty or sophisticated. You know what I mean? It can just be kind of basic and, you know, a person speaking into a mic and quietly, you know. But it can be arty too, I think. But yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you like my stuff. Anyway, yeah, you know, I'm not sure what to say about workplace stuff, man. It's just, yeah, hit and miss for me anyway. Right, okay, so I'm going to do another one. Oh, you know, here, I was going to go take a look at that so if I could see at least what it looked like. What was it called? Let's go back over here. What was it? Gardic phone? Is that it? Gardic phone? Okay, let's do this. Gardic phone. Oh, here, let me do this again. So I'm kind of out of the way. There we go, that should be good enough. Oh, what do you know? There it is. So I'm not sure where to go here. I guess Gardic. Let's try this thing. What is this? Huh. Well, you know what? I don't know that I'm going to. This looks like more stuff that I want to engage in at the moment right now. But I'll look into this and maybe I could fold this into a game thing somehow. I'll have to figure out how it works and stuff at another time. But yeah, okay. I will. What shall I do with this? Here I can do this. I was gonna. I don't know. I'll just. Here, let's do it this way. And we'll do. For later. That's where we'll put it. All right. I'll try to remember to look at that later. Yeah. Okay. That's enough of that. Let's go back over here, I guess. Oh, Amy. Okay, let me go back. It looks like I've got. Wow, Excalibur. Thank you very much. Happy holidays to you as well. Okay, Curl, I'll go back and look at it, like I said, later and see what's going on. It's just suddenly the colors were just super bright, and it's like my brain just went, you know, it's like, I don't want to do this right now. So I was like, okay. Especially since we're, you know, I'm going to be ending fairly soon. You know what I mean? It's coming up on 7. So, yeah. Anyway, everybody give a big cheer to Excalibur for their generosity and kindness. That's super, super groovy. Thank you. Thank you. Look at the camera, dude. All right, let me do another one of these here. Oh, I forgot to. I keep forgetting to do that. Get back over here, dude. Reckless Metal. Hey, how's it going, man? You're unfortunately you're kind of coming in on the end. I'm just kind of winding down, but yeah, hang out. That'll be cool. Let's see if I can. Do I want to go ahead and spend it on wage? Yeah, why not? There we go. I got all tens. That means there's no doubles. So I don't know. What do I have? UPA or not? Okay. So those are tied up. Those are tied up. S and L are there. Wow, Morgan, thank you very much. That is extremely generous. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. And again, everybody, say hey and a big 3 cheers for Morgan. Thank you very much. That's fantastic. Thank you. I'm never sure how to, deal with people's generosity. It's astonishing to me. I really, really do appreciate it. Let's see, what do I have here now? L. Okay, so it's going to be L, not LS, is it? Or is it? No, I don't think so. L. Okay, so blunt maybe? Nope, the U doesn't go there. Bland maybe. Okay. And S-E-N-T, what are, oh, it's going to be upset, isn't it? Yeah, that was a pretty easy one. Yeah, I feel bad you show up and you've been so generous, and I'll hang out for a few extra minutes, you've been kind, so I'll be kind in return. Is there any, well, since I'm sitting here and you got here, is there anything you want to chat about in focus, or, I could just continue playing the game and, rambling on with my normal nonsense, but, if there's anything in specific, I can be, open to suggestion, but as it was, I'm going to go play a drench again. I don't know, I really like this game. It's just super easy, but something about it just amuses me. See, let's move this up here like that. There we go. Okay, Kerbal. Yeah, I hope everything goes good, and yeah, get some sleep and all of that. Yeah, fantastic, man. See you next month. Okay, I'm going to start with... All right, cool. Thank you, Morgan. Well, like I said, I'll play a few more games and just kind of hang out, and then, yeah, it'll be groovy. Thank you. Cool, Amber. I'm glad you were too. Well, since I'm going to be hanging out for a few extra minutes here, does anybody have any pressing questions? Well, does anybody, people have asked me about their plans, but nobody's said what they're doing. Is anybody going to take a trip? Is anybody doing anything boast-worthy, this year I'm just staying home, but, I normally don't do anything for Christmas. I usually just spend it with my family. But, I'm kind of a family guy, you know what I mean? My wife and I never had children, but, and that's fine. I don't regret that, especially since it didn't work out for us. But, it's like I don't keep pets either, you know what I mean? I just don't know that, I don't know, I have issues. And maybe I shouldn't be trusted with the care and feeding of other organisms, It's just, leave Bill to himself, that's fine, that's about all he can handle. And even that can be challenging. Let's do the orange ones, or goldenrod, or whatever we want to call that. You know, it's something about this color grid that it just really fascinates me. I think I'm going to try and do something with it, you know, image-wise or something. It just seems kind of cool. Or maybe I could, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, right on, Excalibur. Yeah, that's the thing, right? You know, have some meals. You know, well, I'll just do sort of the, well, here, you know, let's leave this. This can sit here for a minute. Let me come back and I'll just hang out with you guys. Go back to here. Go back to here. So Christmas, um, oh, let's wait, hang on. Amber says she's doing a big road trip. Right, yeah, long road trips, you know, I used to do road trips now and again for Christmas because either I'd be visiting my parents if they lived up here and I was in San Diego or vice versa, right? But it was always somewhere here in California, either the Bay Area or down in San Diego. Um, but it's like, okay, so in the morning, like you get up, right? And usually, you know, when I was a kid, it'd be early morning. Um, but as I've gotten older, you know, I tend to sleep a little bit. But you know, you get up. There's usually some kind of goodie to have for breakfast in the morning, right? Like some kind of buns or rolls or donuts or you know some kind of thing like that. And then people slowly sort of either wake up or arrive, depending on you know what's going on. And then everybody gets roped in to do some sort of thing to help my sister, right? You know, peel a potato or something like that, right? You know what I mean? And then at some point, afternoon is when we have the big main meal. And it depends. Sometimes we do presents early, sometimes we do presents late. But that, you know, that's it. It's usually just sort of just hanging around and doing things together and eating food and that kind of thing. All right, let me see. I'm going to catch up on some of the. All right, man. Well, so I think Astrovolk, there you go. I hope I said it even close to right. And yeah, get some good rest, man. Did I take Highway 1 a lot? Not a lot, no, because it's, well, it depends on where you're at. So, okay, so when I would go from San Diego to, or from, oh, the Bay Area to San Diego, right? Okay, so if I'm starting in the Bay Area, it depends of the kind of mood I was in. Um, Often what I would do is I would take 580 out into the valley to catch 5, take that down to LA, and then actually essentially all the way down to San Diego, just through LA. If I was willing to drive a little bit bigger distance but wanted a more pleasant drive, I would from the Bay Area go get 101, take that down through like Santa Cruz like that, and then take that down like to the 405 or something. And then take that, and then catch the 5 that way through like what is that? It goes through Irvine or something like that, if I remember. Um, and essentially just those routes in reverse, except for a couple of times I would go through LA and then out through I guess that's Ventura, isn't it? And then catch one there, and then take it up from there. Depending on how ambitious I was, sometimes you just go as far as like Santa Barbara or something, and then you know call it quits. But I have been up the whole thing all the way up to. I guess it's where I would cut in would have been Santa Cruz because I had a friend there, and we used to stop there when I used to have a VW bus. We did that one time. That was a really fun trip. Anyway, yeah. So not a lot, no, but it's a beautiful drive though. Um, that's one of those things I would. I mean, I'm not really a car guy. I'm more of a public transportation bicycle guy. But I do find cars fascinating, and I do think it would be a fun thing to do. Would be to take a car like you know, some kind of like nice Porsche or something like that, and go drive on one, just because you know that way you could be in a very smooth, you know, responsive vehicle and kind of just cruise and check out the view as you're cruising along in a smooth, you know, exhilarating manner. You know. Not too speedy, just speedy enough to be fun. Okay, well, if things are calming down comment-wise, I'm going to go back over to the game page. Okay, there we go. Okay, where do I want to go here now? Let's do pink then red. what? Purple, I guess, seems to be the, and then goldenrod, then green. Yeah, goldenrod, then green. I guess the pale green, red, purple. Are all the pinks exposed? It does seem to be. All the goldenrods exposed? It do seem to be. All the pale greens, all of the purples, all of the greens, and then the reds finally. There you go. Okay, let's do another one of these, I guess. Oh, we got more comments here. Oh, you know, Excalibur, I have never been to Hearst Castle. How crazy is that? I mean, because it's such a big draw here, isn't it? I mean, in California, not here where I live, but yeah, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? I should probably go check that out someday. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Let's do the goldenrod and then pink, I guess. What, then red? The pale green. Goldenrod, I guess. I don't know what's looking. Maybe let's do red, and then the pink, and then the purple, and then the green, and then the pale green. I think red, then green. Goldenrod, then maybe purple. And then purple. Now I'm running out, so do the pale. Do I have enough to get everybody? Ooh, it's going to be tricky. I don't think I'm going to have to do red twice, but I think there's enough guesses that I can accommodate that. I think that's all of the goldenrod. Yep, and that's now the red. Yeah, there you go, that's fine. That's such a weird game. All right, okay. Excalibur, the history nerd. Now, is the fact that you're a history nerd have something to do with your name choice, or is it just that's a coincidence of, you know? Because I guess Excalibur isn't necessarily a historical thing, but, you know, depending on your perspective on the Arthurian stuff. Let's start with the purple, I guess, and do the pink. Let's do the red and the pale. I think I will do the purple, then the green, and then the pink, and then the pale stuff, and then what? Red, I guess. What, goldenrod, I guess. These don't look like the best choices available, does it? Right? Yeah. Oh, we have another comment here. Yeah, I mean, it does sound cool. I mean, you know, it's the, you know, the mythical sword, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't mean to pry. You just get nosy about stuff like that, you know. All right, I think that's all of the purples. I'll do the, I guess, the goldenrod, obviously, yeah. And then what, the red, I guess. I think it looks like the pale greens are all exposed now. And the goldenrods are all exposed now. Pink is all exposed now. Red is, and then green. There you go. Okay, really I'll go pink and then goldenrod, I guess. And then purple. I guess then green. But then what? Red, then pale green, I guess. Red, then pale green, then purple. Or pink. Purple, then pink. I think then red, then green. Then goldenrod, I think. Then pink. That gets me all the way over to the edge here. Then what? Pale. Purple, what? Green or goldenrod? Let's do the green, I guess. And the red. And then that. Oh man, I'm running out of turns and this looks kind of messy. Up, 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 up. You know, it's funny because this isn't really like logically difficult, you know what I mean? But it's just so weird. But I find it really fascinating. And a lot of fun. It's kind of addictive. Yeah. All right, let's go do a different one just for, should we go back to Codebreaker? I just realized you guys don't really see the bookmark thing, do you? So you get like the drop down, it doesn't show up, so you can't see the choices available. I just assumed that you did. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm the one who's picking them. So anyway, babble, 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 Bill. Yeah, let's go do Codebreaker again, I guess. You know, Amber, I don't remember how I found out about the websites I play. Yeah, I think it's just people say, you know, hey, check this out kind of thing. Yeah, really. Except for the Sudoku that I play, I actually did a, you know, DuckDuckGo search for Sudoku and found one that had an easy mode, and then that's what I play. But yeah, the other games I just sort of find them by. Oh no, and then the Sokoban. All right, so I guess I did search that too because there's this old game that was a DOS game that was very similar to that. It was Soko something, and it was a really really cool game. But it ran on DOS, like, you know. This would have been shortly after my divorce, so like 94, 95, that kind of time frame. Yeah. Anyway, what do we have here? All right, I'm just going to try the orange and the yellow just because why not? I guess you could make the argument that there is a reason why not, because since the red is there, it's, you know, probability wise and whatever. Anyway. Interesting. So green is out, but one of these is good. I'm going to say that it's the orange is good, that the yellow is out. So I'm going to put the red in, and let's try the light blue and see what that gets me. Okay. Well, we know the orange goes here, because we haven't moved it and it only appeared here with the black marble, so that's that. Now, it can't be that the red is here, because if it is, then the blue would be what the white marble referred to, and then it would have nowhere to go, right? So there's a contradiction involved there. So the red can't be here, which means the red, since it's a white peg down here, means it must go there. And so now the light blue has to be one of those two. So I'm just going to pick this one arbitrarily. Let's use the dark blues here just to see what. And okay, this is fine because I know orange goes here. I know red goes here. I know light blue now must go here. I know that dark blue must go here. So now it's just a matter of which one of these two go there. It's a 50-50. We'll just do purple. There you go. Okay, I will do a quick tutorial on how to play Codebreaker. Um, yeah, that'll be a good thing. I'll do that, and then I'll probably call that quits for tonight. Okay, so first off, let's just start with the easiest thing. So the basic idea, right? I'm sure you've probably figured it out, but I'll just be super redundant just for clarity or thoroughness or whatever. So you're just guessing colors, right? Each color will only appear once in the puzzle, and it's only going to be 5 of those 8, right? So you're just trying to figure out, a color pattern, basically. Now, the basic thing is if you get a black marble over here in the scoring section, that means that the colored marble is the correct color and the correct position. If you get a white marble, it means that the color is in the puzzle, you just haven't found its position yet. All right, so for whatever sake, I think the easiest way for me to explain is I always just start with one color at a time. Now, this is clearly not a good strategy, but I think it's a good way for me to explain what's going on in the game. Now, there can only be one red peg or red marble or whatever you want to call these, in the puzzle. So really all I'm doing by plastering them all here is I'm just seeing, is red in the puzzle? That's all I'm testing here now. And red is not in the puzzle. So I'll just keep doing that. And again, this is not a good strategy. This is just silliness so I can kind of explain how the game works. Again, orange is not in it. You see, as we rule colors out, though, we know, oh, okay, that's a higher likelihood that eventually we're going to get down to it has to be what's left over, right? It'll get a little bit more sophisticated than that as we go, but it's a good way to start slowly. All right, so now we know yellow's in it. Now the downside is I have no idea which of these 5 it is. I just know that yellow's in the puzzle somewhere. So let's just stick it there somewhere, right? Now you can see we're running out of guesses. Right, so we're probably not going to win this puzzle, but it serves sort of as a tool for me to kind of explain my thinking processes. And then I'll get more sophisticated as we go. Okay, so we know that yellow's in it somewhere. We'll put it there. And I'm going to introduce the green, and we'll just see if the green's in it. Okay, since I only got one scoring marble here, and I know yellow's in it, that means I know that yellow is in the puzzle still, right? Because, the universe hasn't changed, but it's not in the right spot. But we also know, since I only got one scoring marble, that green is not in the spot. Now here's an interesting thing. I'm going to put the yellow here, move it over just once. There's only 4 colors left. So I could, in fact, just drop all 4 colors in there now, and I would get, they're all in it. So everything now is going to be in the puzzle. So now it's just a matter of, okay, how is it that we're going to find the positioning for them? So I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to continue with introducing the one color thing at this point, because I'm really just looking for where yellow is, right? You see what I'm saying? So again, this is not a good strategy. This is just a silly, oversimplified version of how to play the game, right? Okay, so now this is what we would have expected, right? Oh, wait, hang on. The family wanted to watch some Christmas movies, but wanted to pop in and say, I hope you're having a good night, Bill. Oh, thanks, Tim Causey. I appreciate you dropping by. And hello, hi, happy holidays, all that. Cool. Anyway, okay, so where was I? Okay, so what I would have been hoping for on this line is 2 black marbles over here, because then that would have mean I found where the yellow goes, right? But as it is, I haven't. So anyway, I'm going to keep moving the yellow. And I know that the light blue is in one of these, so we'll just, all right, fine, pick one. I don't know if it's that one or not, but it's, one of those 4. So now I'll just introduce the dark blue. Okay, see, now I've got 3 black marbles. So now we know that, okay, that means that the yellow has to be in the right spot. That's what that means, right? Yellow's in the puzzle and in the right spot. Same with the light blue, so we know that for sure. Now, the thing is, okay, blue is in it, right? Which, of course, we would have expected that. If it's in the puzzle, we'd get a black marble for it. And remember, before I'd already deduced that the remaining colors are all in it anyway, so we're not surprised by this. But now it's just a matter of which one does it go into. And at this point, I'm going to pick here. Let's just go ahead and drop these in. And we'll just see what we get. Oh, what do you know? I just got lucky. Let's kill that, right? So, I just picked that arbitrarily out of those three. And then those just went in the two remaining spots. So I just really did just get lucky on this very last guess here. All right, so let's do it again. And I'll do a little bit more closer to how I actually play the game. So I usually start, I don't like doing all 5 colors and just going that way. I find it's easier for me to sort out the information by beginning with a fewer number of colors. So I'm going to throw in 3 of the red, 1 orange, and 1 yellow. So this is the typical, my preferred method of starting. It's kind of my most relaxed way of playing, where I can, high probability of success, and I don't really have to stress my brain out too much. Right, all right, so that's what I'm looking for here anyway. So there we go. I know that one of the marbles is actually the correct color and the correct spot. And I know that one of the other marbles is the correct color, just not in the correct spot. Okay, so which one? Now the important thing to remember is these don't correspond here, right? That black marble doesn't mean that black marble. It just means one of any of these 5 is in the right spot. And it always goes, all of the black marbles score first, and then the white marbles score second, right? So don't get too wrapped up in the position of the scoring marbles. That's not what's important. What's important is the color of the scoring marbles. Okay, anyway, so since there are 3 reds, it's kind of more likely that I got lucky on the red with the black marble, right? So I'm just going to, okay, arbitrarily choose the red here, right? And then, okay, so then it's either orange or yellow. Which one? Let's try the orange. I'm just going to put it over here, just anywhere other than that. That's all, right? And so at this point, I'm still just guessing. I haven't got enough information to deduce much of anything, really. Okay, but if it's these 2, all right, then I'm going to leave yellow aside, and let's introduce the green. Again, right now I'm kind of looking for positions and colors kind of simultaneously. Okay, now I still have 2 scoring marbles, right? And I got 2 colors back. So it's kind of tempting to go, it must be these 2, right? And that could be the case, right? But it could also be that it's one of these green, right? And that I picked wrong with the orange, and that it was the yellow. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of have to figure out what's going on here. Now, just for consistency's sake, I try to stay with assumptions until I've proven them wrong. So I've assumed the red goes here, and that the orange went there, right? It's just kind of an assumption. So I'm going to keep them until something indicates that it can't be the case. I find it's easier for me to keep my information in a way that makes sense to my brain. I can keep it in an ordered manner in my head. Okay, so let's see what we get here. So if this light blue is in the puzzle, we should be expecting to see 3 black pegs, right? If we get anything other than that, it means we need to rethink what's going on here. All right, we got 3 black pegs. So it has confirmed that this was correct, right? And now I know, right? So now this is not guessing anymore, right? You see how that worked, right? Because of these, I know that I have 3 colors that are in the right place. Well, red goes there, orange goes there, but now, which of these light blue is it? I'm just going to arbitrarily pick the one to the left, just because, again, it's a methodology. Once I've developed the methodology, I can kind of cruise, you know? And then the dark blue goes like that. Oops. And we click that. Wow. I'm getting lucky guesses here like crazy. You know what I mean? How groovy is that? I don't think I could have asked for a better game. All right. So I know all of those ones individually are right where they belong. And I know that the blue is in here. I just don't know which of these 2. So again, I will arbitrarily choose the left. See, this is kind of making a nice pattern, isn't it? I like that stuff when it happens like that. And nope, So purple's not in it, and I picked the dark blue in the wrong spot. So let's put these back. Why does it do that? Put that there. Put this here. All right, again, so the dark blue has to be in a different spot. Does that make sense why that logical deduction is happening? Let me back up just to make sure. Okay. So we know that I have 3 correct colors, correct positions, right? All right, this is kind of beating a dead horse, but let's just go back just to make sure that you guys are following me. So we're secure about these, that's fine. Now I need to pick a light blue, which we did. I just picked arbitrarily the left one. But I still only got black pegs, which means yay, it's in the right place. So lucky guess, yay for me. So red, light blue, and orange are all right where they need to be, right? Okay. I also know that the dark blue is in it. I just don't know which of these 2 places it is. Okay, so we put red, light blue, orange, and they go there, right? So that's those 3 black marbles there. But the white marble now must be referring to the black one because he was in here, right? We know for sure he's in the puzzle. But I just happened to pick the wrong position. So it's in the puzzle, just in the wrong position. So we put the blue over here. But since I only got 4 scoring marbles still, right? It means that only red, light blue, dark blue, orange are the only scoring. So purple is out, boink. Toss him out, put in the magenta. Now this should be code cracked, right? Now, did that make sense? Because I get comments a lot from in the code breaker things where people, it's like I feel like I don't explain it as well as I think I am sometimes, because I keep getting people say I don't quite get it. So does everybody get that? Okay, I'm going to play one last game and then I'm going to call it quits. Okay, cool. I'm glad. All right, so here we go. Put the reds in here. Oh, here we go, another message. Thanks, Amber. I'm glad you dropped by, and I will see you for the next stream, I hope. Take care. Yippee-yay, good guessing, Bill. All right, so again, I'm just going to go with the red because it's, it has the most there, so we'll just try that out. And we'll put this there. Again, we know they're in there. We're just playing around looking for position now. Now I will introduce the green just to see what happens here. All right, the green's in it, yippee-yay. So I've got 4 of the colors. Now I'm just, again, looking for positions. Okay, I'm still going to go with the idea that it was the red that was one of the black marbles. But, that again, it's just, you could pick something else to guess for your assumption if you so chose. Although I do recommend trying to be consistent so you don't lose your trains of thought. Okay, so we know that everything's moving somewhere else. So let's put the yellow over here on the end. Let's put the orange over here on this end. Right, just because that seems like it's, And then let's put the green over here. And now let's introduce the light blue and see what does that get us. Hey, yeah, wow, all right. Oops, got a new message here. What do we got? Okay. Davidine Ross, is that how you say that? Davidine Ross? You demand I watched 10 hours of you, so I'm so sorry. I'm glad you like this stuff, man. I appreciate the compliments. Yeah, Pure ASMR is, he made a compilation of my stuff. Actually, he's a cool guy. Like, he didn't do that without me knowing about it, right? He said, hey, can I do this thing? And I said, yeah, you can do that thing. And we even did it when he released it. I also released a video at the same time to kind of, see if it would, be the thing. He's actually being a cool guy. He's kind of helped me out with trying to do better YouTube algorithm stuff, whatever, you know what I mean? Because I kind of suck at that stuff, and he's kind of good at it. Um, and so I'm trading him content for help. You know, I mean, that seems like a cool and groovy thing to do. So anyway, we'll see how it goes, right? But yeah, so you know, it worked for you, right? Yeah, you got here. Right on. Anyway, thanks again for coming by, man. The downside is that you're coming in on the end. This is going to be the last game I play, and then I'm calling it quits. I'm getting a little tired, and my back is giving me a little bit of grief. So anyway, let's just see what we got here. Where do I want to go? What's most likely here? Do I think? Do I have anything odds-wise that's making anything? All right, I'm going to go. Let's just put everything where it is. Since I only have 2 white marbles over there. Here, let me put everything in here for a quick second, then I'll explain what I'm doing. Okay, so I know I got all the colors. That's fine and groovy. The thing is, that only 2 of them aren't in the right place. So I put them in the spots that they were in, because now what I do is I go and I look, okay, which ones can I switch, right? Because if only 2 of them are out, then I just have to find 2 to switch, right? Does that make sense? So, for example, the reds can't go to either of these spots, right? Because, well, I guess I shouldn't say either of these spots. Like, you can't put it back here, I guess is what I should say. Because since there's this black marble down here, that's not as clear as that. But, right, so, you know, I can't switch this red and that orange. Like, can't switch those, right? So typically what I tend to do is I tend to do it, just pick one and work through, right? So I can't switch, well, I could switch this orange here, but then that's going to throw off the whole assumption of this red being the black, right? Same thing with this, but this one I know I can't switch, not based off that assumption, but because, well, the scoring tells us so, right? And so the light blue and the orange could switch, absolutely. Let's look at that for a second. Now, this might be a doable thing. Let's see if it matches up with all of the scoring. Because if it does, then it means it's a consistent guess. It means it could logically fit the circumstances as we know them so far. So anyway, let's just double check. So I have the red being the black marble there, and that gives me a white, and that gives me a white. So that checks this thing here. This red, white, that yellow, white, this orange, white, that green, white, and that's it. That doesn't score. Okay, so that's fine. This gives me a black peg, this gives me a black peg, and this gives me a black peg. So I got the 3 black pegs or marbles, or I keep calling them pegs because I grew up as a kid playing this game in the physical form from Invicta. Anyway, so that gives me those, and then all right, so everything is consistent. Let's see what happens. It's not a guarantee that it's it, because nothing about what I just did is that it has to be that way. It's just that it could be that way. Oh, what do you know? Man, I've been lucky all night tonight. Oh, anyway. So, you know what? Let me switch from the game part here back to this part here. Let me go back over to here like this. I'll give it a little bit just so I know that I can see the delay thing working out. So there we go. So I'm going to start saying goodbye. So if there's a last minute thing from anybody, I'll give you just a little bit of time to chime in with one last question. And then in the next minute or so, I'm going to sign off. But I'll give it a little bit of time here because there's a delay going on. So I'll let the delay catch up, give you guys a chance to actually respond. And then I'm going to say nighty-night. And then I'm going to go, I don't know, it's 7:30. I'll probably go find something to have for dinner. Maybe go up and see my dad and pet some pooches, play with the dogs on the floor. I like rolling around with the pooches. I don't think that surprises any of you. Okay, I guess that's it, gang. I'm going to say goodnight now. Aloha, siblings. I'll see you guys next month. It's been really great this weekend. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming by. And I especially thanks to everybody who's been generous. And everybody else, yeah, thank the people that have been generous, because that's really cool. That, that's above and beyond, very, very cool. Thanks everybody again for coming by. And I will see you, I guess, at the middle of next month, okay? Oh man, Jordan Harris and Mr. Average, I'm just saying goodbye. So bad timing, man. Anyway, nighty night, you guys.